The Holy Quran, Arabic to English translation, read by Hawk School, Part 10. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. O ye who believe, when you encounter an army, remain firm and remember Allah much, that you may prosper. And obey Allah and His Messenger, and dispute not with one another, lest you falter, and your power depart from you. And be steadfast, surely Allah is with the steadfast. And be not like those who came forth from their home boastfully and to be seen of men, and who turn men away from the path of Allah, and Allah encompasses all that they do. And when Satan made their deeds seem fair to them, and said, None among men shall prevail against you this day, and I am your protector. But when the two armies came in sight of each other, he turned on his heels and said, Surely I have nothing to do with you. Surely I see what you see not. Surely I fear Allah, and Allah is severe in punishing. When the hypocrites and those in whose hearts is a disease said, Their religion has deluded these men, and whoso puts his trust in Allah, then surely Allah is mighty wise. And if thou couldst see when the angels take away the souls of those who disbelieve, smiting their faces and their backs, saying, Taste ye the punishment of the burning. That is because of that which your hands have sent on before yourselves, and know that Allah is not at all unjust to His servants. Their case is like the case of the people of Pharaoh and those before them. They disbelieved in the signs of Allah, so Allah punished them for their sins. Surely Allah is powerful and severe in punishing. This is because Allah would never change a favor that He has conferred upon a people until they change their own condition and know that Allah is all-hearing, all-knowing. Their case is like the case of the people of Pharaoh and those before them. They rejected the signs of their Lord. So we destroyed them for their sins, and we drowned the people of Pharaoh, for they were all wrongdoers. Surely the worst of beasts in the sight of Allah are those who are ungrateful, so they will not believe. Those with whom thou didst make a covenant, then they break their covenant every time, and they do not fear God. Those with whom thou didst make a covenant, then they break their covenant every time, and they do not fear God. So if thou catchest them in war, then by routing them, strike fear in those that are behind them, that they may be admonished. And if thou fearest treachery from a people, throw back to them their covenant with equity. Surely Allah loves not the treacherous. Surely Allah loves not the treacherous. And let not those who disbelieve think that they have outstripped us. Surely they cannot frustrate God's purpose. And make ready for them whatever you can of armed forces and of mounted pickets at the frontier, whereby you may frighten the enemy of Allah and your enemy and others besides them whom you know not, but Allah knows them. And whatever you spend in the way of Allah, it shall be repaid to you in full, and you shall not be wronged. And if they incline towards peace, incline thou also towards it, and put thy trust in Allah. Surely it is He who is all-hearing, all-knowing. And if they intend to deceive thee, then surely Allah is sufficient for thee. He it is who has strengthened thee with His help and with the believers. And He has put affection between their hearts. If thou hadst expended all that is in the earth, thou couldst not have put affection between their hearts. But Allah has put affection between them. Surely He is mighty, wise. O Prophet, Allah is sufficient for thee and for those who follow thee of the believers. O Prophet, urge the believers to fight. If there be of you 20 who are steadfast, they shall overcome 200. And if there be 100 of you, they shall overcome 1,000 of those who disbelieve, because they are a people who do not understand. O Prophet, urge the believers to fight. If there be of you 20 who are steadfast, they shall overcome 200. And if there be 100 of you, they shall overcome 1,000 of those who disbelieve, because they are a people who do not understand. For the present, Allah has lightened your burden, for He knows that there is weakness in you. So if there be 100 of you who are steadfast, they shall overcome 200. And if there be 1,000 of you, they shall overcome 2,000 by the command of Allah, and Allah is with those who are steadfast. It does not behove a prophet that he should have captives until he engages in regular fighting in the land. You desire the goods of this world, while Allah desires for you the hereafter. And Allah is mighty wise. Had there not been a decree from Allah which had gone before, great distress would have surely overtaken you in connection with that which you took. So eat of that which you have won in war as lawful and good, and fear Allah. Surely Allah is most forgiving, merciful. O Prophet, say to the captives who are in your hands, if Allah knows any good in your hearts, He will give you better than that which has been taken from you, and will forgive you. And Allah is most forgiving, merciful. And if they intend to deal treacherously with thee, they have already dealt treacherously with Allah before, but He gave thee power over them. And Allah is all-knowing, wise. Surely those who have believed and fled from their homes and striven with their property and their persons for the cause of Allah, and those who have given them shelter and help, these are friends one of another. These are friends one of another. But as for those who have believed but have not left their homes, you are not at all responsible for their protection until they leave their homes. But if they seek your help in the matter of religion, then it is your duty to help them, except against a people between whom and yourselves there is a treaty. And Allah sees what you do. And those who disbelieve, they are friends of one another. If you do it not, there will be mischief in the land and great disorder. And those who have believed and left their homes and striven for the cause of Allah, and those who have given them shelter and help, those indeed are true believers. For them is forgiveness and an honorable provision. And those who have believed since then and left their homes and striven for the cause of Allah along with you, these are of you. And as to blood relations, they are nearer one to another in the book of Allah. Surely Allah knows all things full well. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. This is a declaration of complete absolution on the part of Allah and His Messenger from all obligations to the idolaters with whom you had made promises. This is a declaration of complete absolution on the part of Allah and His Messenger from all obligations to the idolaters with whom you had made promises. So go about in the land for 4 months, and know that you cannot frustrate the plan of Allah, and that Allah will humiliate the disbelievers. And this is a proclamation from Allah and His Messenger to the people on the day of the great pilgrimage, on the day of the greater pilgrimage, that Allah is clear of the idolaters, and so is His Messenger. So if you repent, it will be better for you, but if you turn away, then know that you cannot frustrate the plan of Allah and give tidings of a painful punishment to those who disbelieve, excepting those of the idolaters with whom you have entered into a treaty and who have not subsequently failed you in anything nor aided anyone against you. So fulfill to these the treaty you have made with them till their term. Surely Allah loves those who are righteous. And when the forbidden months have passed, kill the idolaters wherever you find them and take them prisoners and beleaguer them and lie in wait for them at every place of ambush. But if they repent and observe prayer and pay the zakat, then leave their way free. Surely Allah is most forgiving, merciful. And if any one of the idolaters ask protection of thee, grant him protection so that he may hear the word of Allah, then convey him to his place of security. That is because they are a people who have no knowledge. How can there be a treaty of these idolaters? How can there be a treaty of these idolaters with Allah and His Messenger, except those with whom you entered into a treaty at the sacred mosque? So as long as they stand true to you, stand true to them. Surely Allah loves those who are righteous. How can it be when, if they prevail against you, they would not observe any tie of relationship or covenant in respect of you? They would please you with their mouths while their hearts refuse, and most of them are perfidious. They barter the signs of Allah for a paltry price and turn men away from His way. Evil indeed is that which they do. They observe not any tie of relationship or covenant in respect of anyone who trusts them. And it is they who are transgressors. But if they repent and observe prayer and pay the zakat, then they are your brethren in faith. And we explain the signs for people who have knowledge. And if they break their oaths after their covenant and attack your religion, then fight these leaders of disbelief. Surely they have no regard for their oaths, that they may desist. Will you not fight a people who have broken their oaths and who plotted to turn out the messenger? And they were the first to commence hostilities against you? Do you fear them? Nay, Allah is most worthy that you should fear him if you are believers. Fight them, that Allah may punish them at your hands and humiliate them and help you to victory over them and relieve the minds of a people who believe. Will you not fight a people who have broken their oaths and who plotted to turn out the messengers, and they were the first to commence hostilities against you? Do you fear them? Nay, Allah is most worthy that you should fear him if you are believers. Fight them, that Allah may punish them at your hands and humiliate them, and help you to victory over them, and relieve the minds of a people who believe, and that he may take away the wrath of their hearts. And Allah turns with mercy to whomsoever he pleases, and Allah is all-knowing, wise. Do you think that you would be left alone while Allah has not yet known those of you who strive in the cause of Allah? And do not take anyone for an intimate friend beside Allah and his messenger and the believers? Allah is well aware of what you do. The idolaters cannot keep the mosque of Allah in a good and flourishing condition while they bear witness against themselves to disbelief. It is they whose work shall be vain, and in the fire shall they abide. He alone can keep the mosque of Allah in a good and flourishing condition who believes in Allah and the last day, and observes prayer and pays the zakat and fears none but Allah. So these it is who may be among those who reach the goal. Do you hold the giving of drink to the pilgrims and the maintenance of the sacred mosque as equal to the works of him who believes in Allah on the last day and strives in the path of Allah? They are not at all equal in the sight of Allah, and Allah guides not the unjust people. Those who believe and emigrate from their homes for the sake of God and strive in the cause of Allah with their property and their persons have the highest rank in the sight of Allah, and it is they who shall triumph. Their Lord gives them glad tidings of mercy from him, and of his pleasure, and of gardens wherein they shall be lasting bliss for them. They will abide therein forever. Verily, with Allah there is a great reward. O ye who believe, take not your fathers and your brothers for friends, if they prefer disbelief to faith. O ye who believe, take not your fathers and your brothers for friends, if they prefer disbelief to faith, and whoso does so amongst you, and whoso amongst you befriends them from amongst you, it is they that are the wrongdoers. Say, if your fathers and your sons and your brethren and your wives and your kinfolks and the wealth you have acquired, and the trade whose dullness you fear, and the dwellings which you love are dearer to you than Allah and his messenger, and striving in his cause, then wait until Allah comes with his judgment. And Allah guides not the disobedient people. Surely Allah had helped you on many a battlefield, and on the day of Hunain, when your great numbers made you proud, but they availed you naught. And the earth with all its vastness became straitened for you, and then you turned your backs, retreating. Then Allah sent down his peace upon his messenger and upon the believers, and he sent down hosts which you did not see. And he punished those who disbelieved, and this is the reward of the disbelievers. Then will Allah after that turn with compassion to whomsoever he pleases, and Allah is most forgiving, merciful. O ye who believe, surely the idolaters are unclean. So they shall not approach the sacred mosque after this year of theirs. And if you fear poverty, Allah will enrich you out of his bounty, if he pleases. Surely Allah is all-knowing, wise. Fight those from among the people of the book who believe not in Allah, nor in the last day, nor hold as lawful what Allah and his messenger have declared to be, or Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Fight those from among the people of the book who believe not in Allah, nor in the last day, nor hold as unlawful what Allah and his messenger have declared to be unlawful, nor follow the true religion, until they pay the tax with their own hand and acknowledge the subjection. And the Jews say Ezra is the son of Allah, and the Christians say the Messiah is the son of Allah. That is what they say with their mouths. They imitate the sayings of those who disbelieve before them. Allah's curse is upon them. Allah's curse be on them. How are they turned away? They have taken their learned men and their monks for lords beside Allah, and so have they taken the Messiah, son of Mary, and they were not commanded but to worship the one God. There is no God but He. Too holy is He for what they associate with Him. They desire to extinguish the light of Allah with their mouths, but Allah will permit nothing except that He will perfect His light, though the disbelievers may hate it. He it is who sent His messengers with guidance in the religion of truth, that He may make it prevail over every other religion, even though the idolaters may hate it. O ye who believe, surely many of the priests and monks devour the wealth of men by false means and turn men away from the way of Allah. And those who hoard up gold and silver and spend it not in the way of Allah, give to them the tidings of a painful punishment. On the day when it shall be made hot in the fire of hell, and their foreheads and their sides and their backs shall be branded therewith, and it shall be said to them, this is what you treasured up for yourselves. So now taste that what you used to treasure up. The reckoning of months with Allah has been 12 months by Allah's ordinance since the day when He created the heavens and the earth. Of these 4 are sacred. That is the right creed. So wrong not yourselves therein. And fight the idolaters all together as they fight you all together. And fight the idolaters all together as they fight you all together. And know that Allah is with the righteous. Surely the postponement of a sacred month is an addition to disbelief. Surely the postponement of a sacred month is an addition to disbelief. Those who disbelieve are led astray thereby. They allow it 1 year and forbid it another year, that they may agree in the number of the months which Allah has made sacred, and thus may make lawful what Allah has forbidden. The evil of their deeds is made to seem fair to them, and Allah guides not the disbelieving people. O ye who believe, what is the matter with you that when it is said to you, go forth in the way of Allah, you sink heavily towards the earth? Would you be contented with the present life in preference to the hereafter? But the enjoyment of the present life is but little as compared with the hereafter. If you do not go forth to fight, He will punish you with a painful punishment, and will choose in your stead a people other than you, and you shall do him no harm at all, and Allah has full power over all things. If you help him not, then know that Allah helped him even when the disbelievers drove him forth, while he was one of the two when they were both in the cave. When he said to his companions, grieve not, for Allah is with us. Then Allah sent down His peace on him and strengthened him with hosts, which you did not see. If you help him not, then know that Allah helped him even when the disbelievers drove him forth, while he was one of the two when they were both in the cave, when he said to his companion, grieve not, for Allah is with us. Then Allah sent down His peace on him and strengthened him with hosts, which you did not see, and humbled the word of those who disbelieved. And it is the word of Allah alone which is supreme. And Allah is mighty, wise. Go forth light and heavy, and strive with your property and your persons in the cause of Allah. That is better for you if only you knew. If it had been an immediate gain and a short journey, they would certainly have followed thee. But the hard journey seemed too long to them, that they will swear by Allah, saying, If we had been able, we would surely have gone forth with you. They ruined their souls, and Allah knows that they are liars. Allah, remove thy cares. Why didst thou permit them to stay behind until those who spoke the truth had become known to thee, and until those hadst known the liars? Those who believe in Allah on the last day will not ask leave of thee to be exempted from striving with their property and their persons, and Allah well knows the righteous. Only those will ask leave of thee to be exempted who do not believe in Allah in the last day, and whose hearts are full of doubt, and in their doubt they waver. And if they had intended to go forth, they would have certainly have made some preparation for it, but Allah was averse to their marching forth, so he kept them back. And it was said, sit ye at home with those who sit. If they had gone forth with you, they would have added to you nothing but trouble, and would have hurried to and fro in the midst, seeking to create discord among you. And there are among you those who would listen to them. And Allah knows well the wrongdoers. They sought to create disorder even before this, and they devised plots against thee till the truth came and the purpose of Allah prevailed, though they did not like it. And among them is he who says, permit me to stay behind and put me not to trial. Surely they have already fallen into trial, and surely hell shall encompass the disbelievers. If good befalls thee, it grieves them. But if a misfortune befalls thee, they say, we had indeed taken our precaution beforehand. And they turn away rejoicing. Say, nothing shall befall us save that which Allah has ordained for us. He is our protector, and in Allah then should the believers put their trust. Say, you do not wait for us anything except one of the two good things, while as regards you, we await that Allah will afflict you with punishment either from himself or at our hands. Wait then. We also are waiting with you. Say, spend willingly or unwilling it shall not be accepted from you. You are indeed a disobedient people. And nothing has deprived them of the acceptance of their contribution save that they disbelieve in Allah and his messenger. And they come not to prayer except lazily, and they make no contribution save reluctantly. So let not their wealth nor their children excite thy wonder. Allah only intends to punish them therewith in the present life, and that their souls may depart while they are disbelievers. And they swear by Allah that they are indeed of you. Well, they are not of you, but they are a people who are timorous. And if they could find a place of refuge or caves or even a hole to enter, they would surely turn thereto, rushing uncontrollably. And among them are those who find fault with thee in the matter of alms. If they are given thereof, they are content. But if they are not given thereof, behold, they are discontented. Had they but been content with what Allah and his messenger had given them and said, sufficient for us is Allah. Allah will give us of his bounty, and so will his messenger. To Allah do we turn in supplication. Ameen. It would have been better for them. The alms are only for the poor and the needy, and for those employed in connection therewith, and for those in whose hearts are to be reconciled, and for the freeing of slaves. The alms are only for the poor and the needy, and for those employed in connection therewith, and for whose hearts are to be reconciled, and for the freeing of slaves, and for those in debt, and for the cause of Allah, and for the wayfarer, an ordinance from Allah. And Allah is all-knowing, wise. And among them are those who annoy the Prophet and say he gives ear to all. Say his giving ear to all is good for you. He believes in Allah and he believes the faithful. And is a mercy for those of you who believe, and those who annoy the messenger of Allah shall have a grievous punishment. They swear by Allah to you to please you, but Allah and his messenger are more worthy that they should please him and God if they are believers. They swear by Allah to you to please you, but Allah and his messenger are more worthy that they should please him and God if they are believers. Have they not known that whoso opposes Allah and his messenger, for him is the fire of hell wherein he shall abide? That is the great humiliation. The hypocrites fear lest the surah should be revealed against them, informing them of what is in their hearts. Say, mock ye. Surely Allah will bring to light what you fear. And if thou question them, they will most surely say, we were only talking idly and jesting. Say, was it Allah and his signs and his messenger that you mocked at? The hypocrites fear lest the surah should be revealed against them, informing them of what is in their hearts. Say, mock ye. Surely Allah will bring to light what you fear. And if thou question them, they will most surely say, we were only talking idly and jesting. Say, was it Allah and his signs and his messenger that you mocked at? Offer no excuse. You have certainly disbelieved after your believing. If we forgive a party from among you, a party shall we punish, for they have been guilty. The hypocrites, men and women, were all connected one with another. They enjoin evil and forbid good, and keep their hands closed. They neglected Allah, so he has neglected them. Surely it is the hypocrites who are the disobedient. Allah promises the hypocrites, men and women, and the disbelievers the fire of hell, wherein they shall abide. It will suffice them. And Allah has cursed them, and they shall have a lasting punishment, even as those before you. They were mightier than you in power and richer in possessions and children. They enjoyed their lot for a short time. So have you enjoyed your lot as to those before you enjoyed their lot. And you indulged in idle talk as they indulged in idle talk. It is they whose work shall be of no avail in this world and in the hereafter. And it is they who are the losers. Has not the story reached them of those before them, the people of Noah, Ad, and Thamud, and the people of Abraham, and the dwellers of Midian, and the cities which were overthrown? Their messengers came to them with clear signs, so Allah would not wrong them, but they wronged themselves. And the believers, men and women, are friends of one another. They enjoin good and forbid evil, and observe prayer and pay the zakat, and obey Allah and his messenger. It is these on whom Allah will have mercy. Surely Allah is mighty, wise. Allah has promised to believers, men and women, gardens beneath which rivers flow, wherein they will abide, and delightful dwelling places in gardens of eternity. And the pleasure of Allah is the greatest of all. That is the supreme triumph. O Prophet, strive against the disbelievers and the hypocrites and be severe to them. Their abode is hell, and an evil destination it is. They swear by Allah that they said nothing, but they did certainly use blasphemous language and disbelieved after they had embraced Islam. They swear by Allah that they said nothing, but they did certainly use blasphemous language and disbelieved after they had embraced Islam, and they meditated that which they could not attain. And they cherished hatred only because Allah and his messenger had enriched them out of his bounty. So if they repent, it will be better for them. But if they turn away, Allah will punish them with a grievous punishment in this world and the hereafter. And they shall have neither friend nor helper in the earth. And among them there are those who made a covenant with Allah, saying, if he give us of his bounty, we would most surely give alms and be of the virtuous. But when he gave them of his bounty, they became niggardly of it, and they turned away in aversion. So he requited them with hypocrisy, which shall last in their hearts until the day when they shall meet him, because they broke their promise to Allah and because they lied. Know they not that Allah knows their secrets as well as their private counsels, and that Allah is the best knower of all unseen things? Those who find fault with such of the believers as give alms of their own free will, and with such as find nothing to give save the earnings of their toil, they thus deride them. Allah shall requite them for their derision, and for them is the grievous punishment. Ask thou forgiveness for them, or ask thou not forgiveness for them? Even if thou ask forgiveness for them 70 times, Allah will never forgive them. That is because they disbelieved in Allah and his messenger, and Allah guides not the perfidious people. Those who were left behind rejoiced, and they're sitting at home behind the back of the messengers of Allah, and were averse to striving with their property and their persons in the cause of Allah. And they said, go forth in the heat. Say the fire of hell is more intense in heat. Could they but understand? They must laugh little and weep much as a reward for that which they used to earn. And if Allah return thee to a party of them, and they ask of thee leave to go forth to fight, say then, you shall never go forth with me, and shall never fight an enemy with me. You chose to sit at home the first time, so now sit at home with those who remain behind. And never pray thou for any of them that dies, nor stand by his grave, for they disbelieved in Allah and his messenger, and died while they were disobedient. And their possessions and their children should not excite thy wonder. Allah only intends to punish them therewith in this world, and their souls may depart, and that their souls may depart while they are disbelievers. And when a surah is revealed enjoining, believe in Allah and strive in the cause of Allah, in company with his messenger, those of them who possess affluence ask leave of thee, and say, leave us that we be with those who sit at home. They are content to be with the women folk, and their hearts are sealed, so they understand not. But the messenger and those who believe with him strive in the cause of Allah with their property and their persons, and it is they who shall have good things, and it is they who shall prosper. Allah has prepared for them gardens underneath which flows rivers. Therein they shall abide. That is the supreme triumph. And those who make excuses from among the desert Arabs came that exemption might be granted them. And those who were false to Allah and his messenger stayed at home. A grievous punishment shall befall those of them who disbelieve. No blame lies on the weak, nor on the sick, nor on those who find naught to spend, if they are sincere to Allah and his messenger. There is no case of reproach against those who do good deeds, and Allah is most forgiving, merciful. Nor against those to whom, when they came to thee that thou shouldest mount them, thou didst say, I cannot find whereon I can mount. They turned back, their eyes overflowing with tears out of grief that they could not find what they might spend. The cause of reproach is only against those who ask leave of thee while they are rich. They are content to be with the women folk, and Allah has set a seal upon their hearts so that they know not. They will make excuses to you when you return to them. Say, make no excuses. We will not believe you. Allah has already informed us of the facts about you. And Allah will observe your conduct and also his messenger. Then you will be brought back to him. Then you will be brought back to him who knows the unseen and the seen, and he will tell you all that you used to do. They will swear to you by Allah when you return to them that you may leave them alone. So leave them alone. Surely they are an abomination, and their abode is hell, a fit recompense for that which they used to earn. They will swear to you that you may be pleased with them. But even if you be pleased with them, Allah will not be pleased with the rebellious people. The Arabs of the desert are the worst in disbelief and hypocrisy, and most apt not to know the ordinances of the revelation which Allah has sent down to his messenger, and Allah is all-knowing, wise. And among the Arabs of the desert are those who regard that which they spend for God as a fine, and they wait for calamities to befall you. On themselves shall fall an evil calamity, and Allah is all-hearing, all-knowing. And among the Arabs of the desert are those who believe in Allah on the last day and regard that which they spend as a means of drawing near to Allah and of receiving the blessings of the Prophet. It is for them certainly a means of drawing near to God. Allah will soon admit them to his mercy. Surely Allah is most forgiving, merciful. And as for the foremost among the believers, the first of the immigrants and the helpers and those who follow them in the best possible manner. Allah is well pleased with them, and they are well pleased with him. And he has prepared for them gardens beneath which flows rivers. They will abide therein forever. That is the supreme triumph. And of the desert Arabs around you, some are hypocrites, and of the people of Medina also. They persist in hypocrisy. Thou knowest them not. We know them. We will punish them twice. Then shall they be given over to a great punishment. And there are others who have acknowledged their faults. They mixed a good work with another that was evil. It may be that Allah will turn to them with compassion. Surely Allah is most forgiving, merciful. Take alms out of their wealth, so that thou mayest cleanse them and purify them thereby. And pray for them. Thy prayer is indeed a source of tranquility for them, and Allah is all-hearing, all-knowing. Know they not that Allah is he who accepts repentance from his servants and takes alms, and that Allah is he who is oft returning with compassion and is merciful? And say, work, and Allah will surely see your work, and also his messenger and the believers, and you shall be brought back to him who knows the unseen and the seen. Then he will tell you what you used to do. And there are others whose case has been postponed for the decree of Allah. He may punish them, or he may turn to them with compassion, and Allah is all-knowing, wise. And among the hypocrites are those who have built a mosque in order to injure Islam and help disbelief and cause a division among the believers, and prepare an ambush for him who warred against Allah and his messenger before this. And they will surely swear, we meant nothing but good. But Allah bears witness that they are certainly liars. Never stand to pray therein. A mosque which was founded upon piety from the very first day is surely more worthy that thou shouldest stand to pray therein. In it are men who love to become purified, and Allah loves those who purify themselves. Is he then who founded his building on the fear of Allah and his pleasure better, or he who has founded his building on the brink of a tottering water-worn bank, which tumbled down with him into the fire of hell? And Allah guides not the wrongdoing people. This building of theirs which they have built will ever continue to be a source of disquiet in their hearts, unless their hearts be torn to pieces. And Allah is all-knowing, wise.